Welcome back, Weebs and Gamers. This is EIJI here, back with another deck profile. Today I'll be doing it on my second SAO deck. It's going to be the -2 Soul build with the Yuuna. I do really like this deck. I wish it was, more in the meta, but unfortunately Overlord kind of just like destroys this deck right now. Very, very unfortunate, but I do feel that this deck is pretty strong regardless, just like in general. Because it's basically just a power creeped version of the Sora level 3 from Hololive. It's basically just one cost cheaper, which is pretty cool. You can't do it at level 1, obviously, which is kind of the trade-off, but just having such a stable game plan at level 2 is just really helpful. And yeah, and then it combines with like a really powerful finisher, so with a double Climax combo with old school Mother's Rosario. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So we'll get into it here. So first we have 4 copies of the Asuna Runner. This is one of the decks that pretty much doesn't play any events, so you can pretty much get away with just playing this card no problem. It will basically never whiff unless you hit a gold bar. And yeah, it's just like really strong 3500 center runner, right? It was on the ban list for a while. They took it off though, yeah, because it is good for sure, but you know, it's not like super needed or anything. It's kind of just more if you can play it, then cool. Next we have 4 of the Ricky. Now this deck is pretty standard, I would say. Like, what I mean by standard is it's kind of like it plays like basically like old school decks, where you basically like as you see, you basically just play 4 runner, 4 Ricky, 4 brainstorm, yada yada. You know, very streamlined. Do what you want to do, level 0 lineup basically. And yeah, this Alice, it's even like it's like the new like slightly better Rickies where you just like clock your stock immediately, so you don't risk like clocking a Climax or something you want to search from the top deck randomly. So yeah, this is pretty cool, and it just gets like 1k on your turn, so it's like a 3k beater, you know, pretty good. Next is 4 of the Yuki Brainstorm from set 1. It's just, you know, super standard Brainstorm, just power pump at your attack phase and salvage. Yeah, nothing really to say about this, just, you know, standardly good Brainstorm. Next we have 2 copies of the Lifa, kind of hand fix stock card. So this card, just like, actually, like this card is just amazing in general, but in this deck where you can be short on stock sometimes, and you really want to make sure you summon all 3 of your Yuunas in one turn, so this card can just help you like get that 1 extra stock you might need to be able to pull off the full combo. And yeah, it can help like get just like dead gold bars out of your hand. So yeah, very good card. Next is the this girl, I forget her name, but yeah, she's basically part of the main combo of this deck, because you do need to play a reshuffle card to shuffle back the Yuunas to make them consistent enough worth playing. There is the Alice, of course, but this deck, I don't play the Alice. You could, for sure, if you wanted to play the Alice, you could. It's just it kind of, you know, conflicts with once you get to level 2, right? Because then you're going to be wanting to play like 2 different Climax combos at the same time, kind of thing, so it's not quite as good. So this card is kind of better for that. Just allows you to pay 1, sack it, shuffle back 2, salvage a character. You can get whatever you need at the time. So yeah, and it's green, so works really well. Next is the main level 0 with the Yuuna. So this is like the basically the change card, quote unquote. So she's just kind of like the EIJI'S, where you just like pay 1, sack her, and then summon the level 3 from your hand. And she also has, if you use a startup, you can give someone 1k, which is always a nice effect to have. This deck does play like quite a bit of counters actually too, so having that additional effect there, if you do happen to have her on field, is pretty nice as well. So yeah, just the main like changer combo. And then the last 2 cards is just 1 copy of the Heathcliff. He's just, you know, pretty standard. I think pretty much every SAO deck will just play like 1 copy of him, I think, going forward from now on. And just one copy of the Climax swap Kirito, because, you know, Climax swap. And then moving on, so we have 4 copies of the brand new Yuki level 1 combo. So I do really like this deck, or I mean this combo. It's pretty cool. It's just on attack with old school Mother's Rosario. So you can, most of the time you're just going to play Gold Bar, but you do have access to like other ones randomly if you want to play like Stock Soul or something. But, you're just going to play Gold Bar, I think. And she's just on attack look at 5, and then you can take an anniversary and add it to your hand. But, of course, she does actually have like a very slight downside, whereas you have to have 3 or more other anniversaries in play, which, if you're playing an anniversary deck, you would think, oh, that's not a big deal. But you could play the old school Yuki, which is like the really good one, pay 1, ditch 1, search 2. And she's not anniversary, so you have to make sure that if you do want to do these, you have to have 3 or more other in play. So you can only have 1 copy of that old school Yuki in play at a time, or else you wouldn't be able to do this. So, yeah, that is a slight factor to consider, but it's still super good. I think she even gets like 1k too. Yeah, she also actually just gets 1k when you use the effect as well. So, yeah, really good. Goes to like 7k. Next is this card, the Mito card. So this is like the Gold Bar support for the deck, basically. But it's kind of weird because she's an attacker. She's not a back row card. Which I think in this deck actually is kind of fine because you are kind of like backlogged with back row already. You have quite a bit, so I wouldn't really want like another like Gold Bar support that I'd have to be forced to play in the back row. So just having this as an attacker, you can just play like 2. Very, very cool for that. She's just like a on attack power pump someone, times your field, and then the Gold Bar effect kind of where you like if you trigger a Gold Bar, you can discard a card from your hand and then check top 2, add 1, and ditch the other one. So yeah, pretty cool. Helps to get Gold Bars out of your hand and power pump stuff. And then we have 1 copy of the old school Yuki, and this is what I was talking about. You just play 1 copy because you don't want it to conflict with your other combo. Just have 1 copy in it at a time. But yeah, just good card. Might as well play at least like 1. And 1 copy of the set 1 bounce card. I'm not sure on if I'm gonna play this for sure, but I have always liked this card, so I just decided to like put 1 copy in. Because it can help out like dumb stuff. And then we have just 1 copy of the set 1 kind of Leafa counter, I guess. Just good card, and you do want quite a bit of counters in this deck to try and protect your Yuunas. So, and moving on to level 2, we have 2 copies of the Infinite Weavers support. So this card, I remember when I seen this card in set 1 when set 1 came out. I thought this card was amazing. The problem was that, like, set 1, you basically didn't use green pretty much at all. And so it kind of just, like, was, like, wasted potential, I guess. But now that you have, like, full green decks and full access to, like, powerful green cards, this card just skyrocketed in playability and how good it is. So this card is just a level support. You can rest, give someone 1k. When you use a startup, you can give someone 1k. So it also has the same thing where you benefit from counters, getting more power. And then also has the rest, you can give someone like the clock kick kind of ability where you kick them the stock and then they heal 1. So yeah, this card is amazing. Just helps you like out dumb stuff. Just helps you make your counters bigger, level support, just everything. So this is such a good card. And then we have 2 of this Lewd Asana counter. So this is just like a 2500 backup, but it has the effect of when you use it, you can pay an additional 1 and then just add it right back to your hand. So basically it just allows you to like defend multiple lanes of Yuuna potentially, and if you have Infinite Weavers, it's a 3500 backup. So yeah, this card is pretty much your main backup. You could play like a Memory Kick backup maybe, or something else if you wanted to as well. I'm still probably going to test other backups for sure, but this is the one that I've seen people playing, and I do agree it kind of does make the most sense because you can protect 2 Yuunas with 1 card. Yeah, this card's pretty good. And then 1 copy of the old man dude. I forget what his name is. He's just like a level down card, so you can just choose 1 character on their stage and then make them summon a character from the waiting room with 1 less level than it. So that's pretty cool. It just again helps out stupid stuff like in mirror match or against other SOWs or, you know, potentially whatever. And moving on to level 3s, we have 4 of the Yuuna here. So she's just the -2 soul wall, the heart and soul of the deck, basically. So she comes out at level 2 with the level 0, just by paying 1 and sacking it, so super easy. And when she's summoned, you can pay 1 and summon another one from your deck. You can do that even when summoned from deck, so you just basically spawn 3, slam gold bar, and yeah, it's just super consistent deck, and super consistent combo because it's gold bar. So yeah, just this, I really love this card. I think it's probably the best -2 soul card ever printed, I think. So yeah, it's just pretty crazy. And then the finisher level 3, like the actual level 3 combo, which is 4 of this card, the Asuna and Kirito. So this card is come and play heal, and then it also has Climax combo with the Mother's Rosario Climax. So the old one, the new one, all the different iterations of the combo they've made, you can use it with this. But obviously Gold Bar is pretty much just the best one. And the combo is basically a better version of the, well, I don't want to say better, more like more expensive, but more, it does more, version of the original SOW 10th yellow finisher. Because that one is only on attack, pay 2, ditch 1, and then mill 5, and then burn 2 for every climax you mill. But the problem with that one is that you need experience 6, and I just don't really want to play any of the new SOW decks with experience, essentially. I just don't really like the fact, because there's just a lot of cards that like want to like mill level 3s, or like mill soul triggers, or check top for high levels, all that kind of stuff, and I don't really want to be leveling level 3s in order to fulfill my finisher when I can just play this kind of thing, because this one doesn't require experience. But this one is pay 3, ditch 2, so it's more expensive, obviously, and but the trade-off is that for this one you get to mill 11, and I feel that's a lot better, because in my testing of the old deck, I found that a lot of the time you could just mill 5 and not hit any climax. So that was like, really feels bad. But if you're milling 11, then it's basically impossible to not hit a climax in 11 cards. So yeah, but so the one thing to note about this card though is it is only on cancel, but I feel that usually you can build yourself so much of a lead from the -2 soul walls, usually, that by the time you get to level 3, your opponent should probably already be level 3. So you shouldn't have to make up like a huge damage deficit. That's the difference between like this kind of finisher and just like on attack burn finishers, is that those ones allow you to make like a big damage comeback if you're behind in damage. Whereas this one is more or less just about securing the game. So if they're already level 3, then they only need to take like, you know, 6 or 7 damage, whatever it may be. So even just resolving one of these, if you mill like 3 climaxes, that's burn 2 like 3 times. So yeah, I just feel that this card is just generally better than the old one. But it's weird because I have been seeing some people play the old one still. So I don't know how to feel about it. I guess for me personally, I just don't like the old one, so I'm probably not going to play it. But yeah, so I like this card. This is like a different version of that card, basically. And then just the climaxes. So we just have the 4 Mother's Rosario Climax, the old one, and then 4 of the new one for the Yuuna. Oh, move these over. There we go. And that's it, guys. If you like the deck, remember to like, comment, subscribe. I do really like this deck. I think it's just kind of getting overshadowed right now because Overlord is out and a lot of people are playing Overlord, and that kind of just destroys your field. So -2 soul walls don't really do a lot. But yeah, definitely if Overlord gets hit by a ban list in any way, which I do think they should, or at least like a few cards here or there, then yeah, this deck could definitely make a comeback for sure. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you remember to like, comment, subscribe, and this is EIJI signing out.